Hello and welcome. I would like to show you my game engine, which I am working on it for the past 2 weeks, consisting of 3000 lines of code actually, and yeah, with the spaces and the comments it goes to 3.6 thousand lines of code, which is the biggest project that I've ever done. And the game engine uses SFML for rendering, and actually I'm going to pass the technical details right now and show you the logic and of the game engine actually. So the game engine uses the scriptable component system just like the Unity. And what is that? That is, if you ever use Unity, you will know what I mean. But if you haven't used Unity, I'm not sure that any other game engine uses that. But the system is like that. You write a little scripts for the game object, which is a object in the game, in the scene, and the components will be updated. So, and components can reach actually anything in the game. So, a little example, a player controller right here. A player controller is a public component, as you can see. And it has a constructor, which is just like that, just that. It's the cooldown and the cooldown counter. And it overrides the update and onCollider enter functions of the component. Update function will be called every frame update. Not every frame update actually. Every update times time scale of the engine at that point. So you can use slowing time and fastening, making faster time. I'm not sure. So okay, that's the actually whole code for moving. That's the code. You just say the speed is 900 times game delta time, and left time will be decreased by the game delta time, which is allows you to give a cooldown for the shooting. And if I press the key left, which I can write like that, which I press the key left, the game object position will go to left and will go to right, and position will be mat clamp in game object position from 50 to 150 because the game object's sprite is 100 by 100, almost like that. So, and if the left time is less than 0 and the space key is pressed, why I wrote that like that, and you can shoot. Well, in shooting you set the left time to cooldown and create a position to the center of the game object and make it 50 higher, and create a pointer laser actually you create a game object and put it in the active scene, which I'm going to let the game object static method. It will be a game object static method will be instantiate, which creates the object in the active scene, and laser at component, and that's just all that for the player controller. And you can use a onCollider enter, onCollider exit, onCollider stay actually in the start late update, which I'm not sure I implemented it, but it is in the game. So I'm not sure what I implemented in the component system, but it's on the game object system. I'm not sure. You got start, update, onCollider enter, exit, stay functions, actual methods in the component system, and you can override them to actually get anything you want, because you can access to game object that the component is held by. So actually that's all for the component system. It's really easy to use. So yeah, that's my main goal. It will be really easy to use. what's in C++. I am not sure. I can port the game to the probably on the C# scripting system like Unity uses, C++ engine, C# script. But yeah, that's basically all in the system. So, and you can use, as I said, slow down and slow up time, and that's all actually for the game engine main system. So, and that's a button, by the way, and I know that's very not good, but it will be in a same. It will be okay. I will talk about it later in the technical details. That wasn't the technical details. Think like that. Okay, I'm going to start my game actually, which is a basic space shooter game that I wrote in an hour or so, because the game engine won't working. So it can be written in a half an hour. So that's the game actually. It runs in a very good speed in a 5.5K FPS really, and it uses 60 approximately megabytes, but that's just the sprites, and yeah, I like that. So actually I'm really proud of what I made, but yeah, that's all. And I set the FPS to 144, but it goes very high. Really, it can go very high, and you can show FPS. Okay, and I think I need to create a reference for you to look at for the game engine, but actually I'm just doing that game engine right now. So yeah, I'm talking too much actually, but the point is that. So for the technical details, the game has a resource system, as you can see here. Actually, for the first technical detail, for creating a game, you need to create a window actually, and put a name in it. And I forgot to implement the full screen, which I'm going to take note just after the video. And you can create a window like width and a height. You can set the FPS. You can let the game show you the FPS on the title, and that's all for creating a game. Then you need to load resources like font and texture, which will be on the game always actually, and the default texture, which I forgot to implement. And you can add any textures you want to the game. That's the name of the texture or font. That's the address of it from the solution directory. Executable directory. And yeah, I add the player image, enemy image, laser player image, laser enemy images. And in the scene, you will create scenes for the game. As you can see, I've created them here because I need to access them from there, but yeah, that's the reason. But as I said before, I will add the instantiate function just after probably closing the video, so you won't be needing that. Okay, you create the scenes, you add scenes to the game. Actually, you need to add them to the game, like in the Unities, which I remembered right now. The Unity needs you to add them to the game too, and that's the logic actually. You create a game object which has a tag, which has a name, but it's a tag, but don't worry. You can use that to identify what you are colliding with or what you are finding in the game. And you need to provide it a texture if you want it to be textured, but if you don't have to. You can make its render null, so you won't be rendering it. Okay, that's the logic. And you put a position for the game object, and you push the game object to the scene. That's all. Add components. The game only supports AAVB collider, which is a box collider with axis aligned. The AAVB comes from that axis aligned box collider, which has no tree in the game. Actually, game has no physics, but okay. And we have a player controller component which I wrote, and a game controller component which spawns the enemies, and I create a UI game object, which is not a game object, it's a UI game object. It's a subclass of game object, so it is rendering for UI, and the logic of that is a render function in it too. Component UI components has render function in it, so that's the logic. As you can see, add UI component text, and let the text be score, and yeah, let the font size be 36, which will be default in the game. That I set to 18, but I should really set it to the 36. So yeah, that's the score text, and the whole system is for debugging. Actually, let me show that to you. If I press A, the time slows down to 0.5, and if I press B, it will go to take 1, 2, 3, as fast as I want actually. As fast as game could handle, but yeah, it can handle very much anything right now in the point because it has nothing in it. So yeah, but for adding a button, I'll show you like that. Okay. Yes. You can click it. Okay, that's a button. It detects you are clicking it. So yeah, that's all. The logic it you create and push it to the scene and let its position and give it a UI component, button text image. If the button let's set align, set size, add click event, which is a on click function right here. So that's the button. And yeah, and the game has a actually 2 times faster than the standard library mathematic functions. Most of them is 2 times faster, not sinus cosinus, because they call the real C standard functions for supplying the numbers, because it will be faster than if I wrote it, written it, okay. And in the utilities, as you can see, we have math function. Let me show it. We have vector 2, vector 3, and rectangle, and matrices. Well, matrices you won't ever be using it, so I've just implemented for the fun. And the rectangle is a rectangle, axis aligned rectangle actually, which is top left corner with a width and height. Well, let me show it like that. And rectangle constructor, blah 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 blah. And you have vector 3, which you can do actually anything. You can magnitude, square magnitude, get normalized, normalize, and dot it. For the magnitude, you have 2 functions for calculating the magnitude, which one of them uses the choose r square root function from the game with 3, I forgot the name, but yeah. And what have written here? Okay. No. Yeah, no problem. I'm not sure, but Yeah, no problem. It's a system like that. Okay. For normalizing it, you use the formal, so yeah. Yes, I remember it correctly. Okay, and you have the almost same functions except for the cross product in the vector too, and that's actually all for the math. And let me show you the math functions. You got E, pi, and error rate, and maximum complexity. You got clamp, absolute value, floor, seal, maximum, minimum, power, and root, and square root, quake tree, quake tree square root, and factorial, random, and sinus, cosinus, cotangent, sine, arcsinus, arccosinus, and logarithmic functions, logarithm, ln, exponential, like that. And that's the whole actually. For the system, you got UI components, buttons and text and images, and resource system, which is just that. Not very much things in it, but yeah, it's a good system. You have renders in here, which is just has a sprite render, and in main you got game and game object and scene. In components you got colliders and a component. That's the whole of the game, which I wanted to show you because yeah, I made it for just the fun of it, and it actually really easy to use. In here, just include the Marcia's game engine header, and that's all. So yeah, if you just include the game library, but I use the DLL. I use static linking in here, but you can use anything like that. You can set it to DLL and then dynamic link it to the game object without the engine here, which will be easier for you actually for developing. But except that, that's the whole of the system. Which the game engine name is Marcia's game engine, by the way. Marcia's from the Greek mythology, but I don't know which one. Actually, I forgot the history, but I really like the name, so I will do that. I gave it to the engine, and thank you for watching. I have no idea how to edit this video. Probably I won't edit it, but yeah, thank you for watching. If you want to, okay, you can say anything about it in the comments below. You can make comments about anything in the game engine, and the link for the game engine will be in the what's called description part. And you can say that I'm not from England and not from any English speaking country because I can't even speak it. Okay, I'm sorry for my bad English, but yeah, I wanted to present it to you, so you are stuck with me and my bad English. So thank you for watching, and actually see you in the next devlog videos. Okay, the new devlogs. And for the future, after the game engine is complete, I will probably make a compiler, but I won't wow to that. Wow. Okay, wow. Okay. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next video, I hope. Bye bye.